G'day and welcome back to another episode on Start Smart Real Estate Reimagined. We have a special guest today, Mel Morris. Welcome, Mel.
Hi, nice to be here.
Um, you've done real estate, as we were just discussing, for 20 years, with a bit of a break in the middle there. So you've got plenty of experience. And I really want to jump into how you do things differently because you definitely do things differently. And I love that about you. You've gone to a new area, which you've been there for about 11 months now. And
Mhm.
whilst I say dominated and may not sit comfortably with you, you have created quite a bit of success in your area within 11 months. And I can relate to that because when I came to this area, I was new to the area. I'd never lived here before. And, in a short amount of time, I quickly became, the top agent in the area. And that's not to high note myself, but I just did things differently. And I'm sure you've got a similar story. What resonates with me is that when I started out in real estate back in 2012, I put on the suit and tie, I got the compendium, and I became what I call a real estate wanker. And I went out there and I did what everyone else does, right? And it wasn't until I re-established myself and I had a break as well. I went over to Japan for 2 years with my family. And then I came back here and I thought, actually didn't want to get back into real estate because I was a bit jaded by the whole industry. And then I
Comfortable.
decided, well, it's a good job. I was passionate about it, so I'm going to give it a go. And I was really good at it when I started out, but this time I thought I'm going to do things my way. I'm going to do things authentically, how I like to do it. And that's what I did, and I got successful from that. And it sounds like that sort of story is your journey as well. So delve into that for us. How does your real estate career when you started out differ to how it is now?
I guess when I started out, I had no mentor. I had no agent to follow. I saw an opportunity in a small mining town that there was only one agency to choose from, and I thought I could potentially at the time offer a better service. So I had a newborn baby. I did my study remotely at home at night time, and then I approached a local stock and station agency and said, "Hey, why are you not doing residential in the town? The town's about to boom. There's only one other agency." They said, "Oh, we're just too busy." And so I gave them a proposition. I said, "Look, how about I come and work under your license?" At that stage, I didn't know what a full license was, like what I have now. I was just happy to get a real estate license and, to sell property. Did that. And I guess for me, it did come naturally because I have had that experience as a landlord, a homeowner, renovator, built multiple properties, sold, understand the whole cycle of real estate. So to me, it did come quite naturally.
Hmm.
Then when I left that small town, when my marriage dissolved, I moved to the big smoke. I moved down to Brisbane. And I thought, I'm going to do real estate in Brisbane because that's what I know, that's what I know to do. Well, that was a huge eye opener for me. And I said to myself, a bit like you, I was just like, if this is what the industry is like, I don't want to be a real estate agent anymore because that doesn't align with my values and how I operate. Like I saw some stuff that I don't know how they sleep at night. And I've always, since the day I got my license, I said, I never want to be tarred with that same brush. Unfortunately, real estate agents are a bit like used car salesmen in that, that
Yeah.
smear of, the trust is not there. So I vowed and declared to myself from day one, I would never, ever lie, ever to a client. And I can still sleep at night and put my hand up and say, I've never lied, ever in a real
Hmm.
estate transaction. And I've been able to build, long-term relationships. So once I do a sale, those people become friends for life, and it's just beautiful. But yeah, getting back to when I went down to Brisbane, I'm like, this is not for me. I am not cutthroating. I'm not sign jumping. I'm not crashing other people's contracts. I am not saying that there's an offer less than when there's not, and I'm not doing that. So I had a little bit of a break, went into mining, did that for a little while, which was great, but then got back into real estate because I am good at what I do, and
Yeah.
people do value what I do. Cut a long story short, moved around a little bit. 12 months ago, um, I was living on the Sunshine Coast where you are, beautiful area, loved
Yeah.
it. But let's be realistic. The housing, affordability down there as a single parent wasn't really, in where I wanted to be. I didn't want $1 million mortgage. So I'm like, where else can I live where I can still own my own home, have the beach lifestyle? And do real estate. And so I bought a house sight unseen, never been to the area, in Boyne Island, which is like near Tannum Sands. It's central Queensland near Gladstone.
Yeah.
So I came to town and I said to myself, right, I'm not going to go and work for someone else. I've done that before. I'm not giving away half my income. So I explored options and then I decided, you know what, I'm just going to back myself here. I'm just going to go out on my own. It was a huge risk. Like as a new agent, a new person, no contacts. I did have one person I knew in town, an old school friend, but she hasn't sent me any business. You know, it's just I knew somebody, so I
Yeah.
wasn't here on my own. And it just started quite organically with, I must admit, I really feel the thing that really boosted me is it's not who I know, it's who knows me in real
Yeah.
estate.
Okay.
And so I invested in a billboard on the side of the road, I don't know, $1,000 a month or something, whatever it costs. And, a lot of people get scared of that cost, but I'm like, that's less than one house sale a year for a
Yeah.
billboard. So that brand recognition has been invaluable for me because people drive past it every day. And if they
Mm.
don't know me, they know the brand or they see me and it's that brand recognition. So when somebody says, you should call Mel from Elevate, they're like, oh yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
that has really helped me, I believe.
Yeah.
But I feel that my business model is not the norm in real estate. So um, I haven't done one bit of prospecting since I've moved here, which I'm very, very grateful for. It's just started off with a few referrals from property managers that we're just doing property management only and just said, we've got a landlord here that wants to sell. Can you look after them? And then that just, it just snowballed from there.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, so my whole business has been referrals and repeat business. And I have streets where I've sold two in, three in, two in. In one street alone, I've sold, well, one settled the other week. In that particular street, I did one for 111,000 over list price, and the other one was 70,000 over list price. So
Mm.
in two sales alone, I've achieved 181,000 over list price for my
Right.
vendors. So
Yeah.
since I've been here, I have a 100% success rate of selling over list price.
Yeah.
And just a smidgen. And when I say a smidgen, it's not much of achieving $1 million combined over list price in my first year in the new area for my sellers.
Yeah. So even that's different. Like to say that, over list price, almost $1 million. Normally
And I
hear like
haven't
$1 million
done,
in property transactions or commissions or something like that, but that's a different
no,
feel
it's
again.
over list price. So I actually have a structure with my commission where I have a three-tiered structure.
Right.
And what I'm seeing around here, and you can see as an agent, if you go into Price Finder, look at the list price and look at the price reductions and look at the end sale price. In a booming market, our market looks like it's actually coming backwards because these agents are so desperate to get a listing, they will overprice them to secure the
Hmm.
listing and then publicly advertise price reductions. I do it the other way and get a better result. So
Right.
not everyone understands my style. So I'm not for everybody. And
Yeah.
it's not until the market understands how I do it that they'll go, oh yeah, it makes sense. So I have a three-tiered structure.
Yeah.
If I can't get you what I'm suggesting as our minimum list price, my commission cuts back because I
Yeah.
should be paid to come in and secure your listing
Yeah.
and
Right.
then not deliver the result. So it's a win-win for the seller. Then I have, what is your dream price? Like, what would you love to walk away with?
Hmm.
And they say, well, we want this. So at the end of the day, most of the time, probably about 95% of the time, I get the dream price. Sometimes they get a bit cheeky with me and they really stretch it. And I'm like, oh, you're really pushing me to get it. But, sometimes I might only get 1,000 more than their dream price. Sometimes it's a lot more. But
Mm.
at the end of the day, if I hit over their dream price, then my commission increases to 10% from that point on.
Right.
So so on one particular property, my bonus commission was actually more than the normal commission because I
Right.
got 111,000 over the list price. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I back myself and it's a win-win for the sellers to say, if she's not going to tell us porkies to get the listing, if she doesn't get it, then her commission comes backwards. And it's an incentive. Like if I say to you, if your dream price is say 850, and if I got you 900, would you be happy to pay me an extra 5,000? And they go, yeah, 50,000 more. I'm happy to pay you five. Well, that's 10%. I don't word it as 10%. I just
Yeah.
say, if I got you that, would you be happy?
Yeah.
And it shows them that I'm the agent to push for more. Because if you do the calculations, most of the time, say on a 500 to 550 property, on the lower price commissions, the incentive is only a couple of $100, like $750 or something.
Yeah.
So the agents aren't pushing for that extra 50.
Yeah.
They're like, it's
Yeah.
sold. I just need to get this done, and they whack under
Move
offer
on.
on it and they stop all the inquiry. So
Yeah.
I do have a different business
Different,
model.
very different. Can I just
Yeah.
ask a few questions about that style? So let's say, I don't know, you approach a new vendor today and they say they want to sell. Do you go in there with, okay, well, this is what I think the value of the property is. Let's say it's 500,000. You say it's 500,000. Is that how it works? Or do you first establish what their dream price is?
I always kind of ask them, what would you ideally like to achieve?
Yeah.
And normally we're on par. Sometimes if they're over, I just go, look, I'm probably not the agent for you. Like, I mean, I had one recently and she said the only reason she was selling is because she had to because of the divorce. And the court order said she only had to list the property, didn't have to sell it. I knew it wasn't going to sell because she was wanting way over
Yeah.
market value. And I also, I have to stay within the guidelines because, as you know, when the valuations get done, unless they're cash buyers have got bigger deposits, the valuations have still got to stack up. So it's not like I undersell. I'm fair on the market. So if somebody says, look, I really want 520 for my property, I'll say, well, in my recommendation, we need to put a bit of bait on the hook to actually get offers. At the end of the day, I'm not going to tell you need to take an offer. You get to choose, but I need to give you offers to choose from.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's price it at offers over 499 because it's in that lower price bracket. We're going to get more fish biting the hook there that will then want to see it as, oh my God, that's good value. It's not underpriced ever. It's not bait advertising. It's still within that 5% range. And I said quite often we'll get offers in the low to mid fives.
Yeah.
And then I guess I make the decision based on, I'll give you a prime example. I did one the other day, offers over 499. The highest sale for a 3-bedroom house in that estate was 515. That particular seller wanted 520. I'm like, yeah, well, that's easy. We do the offers over 499. His dream price was 520. I did have a 550 offer, but they were first home buyers with a 3% deposit. It was going to get a bank val, right? The bank val would have come back saying it's only a 515 property. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't have gone anywhere. And they only had 3% deposit. They didn't have any more money. So I'm
Yeah.
like, even though that is the highest price, that's not the best one for us in this situation. The next one was 535. She had a 40% deposit, no bank val.
Yeah.
So I guess I sit down with my clients and I go, right, in this situation, I feel that this is the best for you so this contract doesn't fall over.
Yeah.
Because if there's no use tying up a campaign and then it crashing because a bank val doesn't come in. It's great to get over
100%.
list price, absolutely, but we've still got those parameters to work in.
Yeah.
So I see a lot where agents don't even ask the questions, do you have finance pre-approved? And they put them to contract, marketers under offer, stop all the inquiry. They can't get finance, contract falls over. They have to drop the price because they've got no inquiry. I keep my campaigns going until they're unconditional.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on realestate.com, buyers assume that the property is still available.
Yeah.
And what I do is I have automation set up. So I want to work smarter, not harder. Like as we know, when you list a couple of listings and your phone goes ballistic, it's really stressful, having to take all those calls, email all those buyers, how do you get an offer form to them? It's time consuming. And you can miss buyers if you don't have some sort of system in place. So what I
Yeah.
do is you have to select the right CRM system because realestate.com actually don't provide this service. So it has to be linked through a CRM system. And then what happens is when they send an inquiry on realestate.com, it actually automatically says, hey, thanks for your inquiry. This property is listed at offers over. I always do offers over, always.
Yeah.
Offers over. Click here to watch a virtual tour before booking an inspection. And if you click on this link, you'll find the building and pest report, you'll find the title search, you'll find the smoke alarm compliance, appeal compliance, and anything else I want to add in there.
Yeah.
So I get all my building and pest reports done up front. And quite often, if I have a cash buyer, it's instantly unconditional. They waive the cooling off, they're happy with the building and pest, done.
Yeah.
So a lot of, traditionally it was like subject to finance, subject to building and pest, and then hope and pray, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to hope and pray that there's nothing wrong with this house. And one of the houses I sold recently, the owner phoned me going, oh my God, the house has rusty stumps we weren't aware of. I said, how great is that we found out before we went to market? I said, we can fix that now. And it just makes the process so much smoother. So yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I do things. I do things so it's easy for people to do business with me. And I get a lot of buyers agents commenting that they love my automations because they might be online at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping. they're not saying, Mel, can you send me an offer form? It's already in their inbox.
Yeah.
They've already got the virtual tour. They've got the building and pest. They've got the title search to say there's no, easements on the property.
Yeah.
So, and then it saves me having to get back to the office in the morning and then send out 20 offer forms or 20 virtual tours or, all those sorts of things. So,
Mm.
and on my adverts, I even write on the first line, before calling the agent, please send an inquiry because you'll get more information that may
Yeah.
be useful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my calls have been cut in half, probably 80% of my calls have come down, and then it just flows really well.
Yeah.
So
I like
yeah,
the
and
automation. I've got a
yeah.
couple of questions for you with your automation, and I've seen your email because I inquired on one of your properties, and it's a great email. So anyone else listening can jump on there and probably check it out without bombarding you, Mel. But
Oh, well, I can't
um,
now because that one's actually under offer,
that
and
one's
I've
under
changed,
offer.
I've changed. As soon as it goes under offer, I change the
Changed it.
automation to
Yeah.
say it is under offer subject to conditions, but I've got your details should that not proceed.
Yeah.
So I've got
So
the
do you
back.
have an automation process for offers? Because I saw your links. You can press the link and it'll open up, all the forms that they need. So one is an offer form.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just provide that. I just inserted it into a PDF into the attachments.
Yeah.
So they click on the link, it opens up. I don't take verbal offers. I don't take text offers. I don't take email offers. I have them all fill in the same form because it has all the details I need to copy and paste into a contract. And it's fair. I have someone say, I'll offer this. I'm like, yeah, but what are your terms and conditions? Like, I need you to fill in the form because it's not just about the price. It's also about, is it subject to sale? Is it this? Is it that? Whatever else you're wanting.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so I can sit down with my sellers and I'll have 20 offers and go, right, let's go through these. Which one do you think suits your circumstances?
Hmm.
Some might say we'll do a 21-day settlement. Some might say, quite often I do for my sellers, for the owner occupied properties, I do honourable for 60 days from unconditional because it allows them time to then, once it's unconditional, to go and find a property that's suitable for them. And then we bring that settlement forward to match up with their new purchase.
Yeah.
A lot of agents around here just do, no, the buyer says they must do 30 days. It's just because they want to get paid sooner.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't work like that. I work in my seller's best
Yeah.
interests.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. So every offer, and I have them all filed in my on my computer. So if I ever have to go back to any offers, they're all there with the amounts. They're all together, and nobody can ever say that they didn't put an offer in because I didn't get back to them. I didn't send them a form. I was too busy. I was on the phone. It's all automated, so I'm
Yeah.
not missing buyers.
Yeah.
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 Just going back to your three-tiered commission structure, I don't know how much you want to share here, but so in that case of you said, it's a 515 property and we're going to go offers over 499. So I assume if anything under 499 comes in, that's where you drop your commission.
Well, to be honest, I've never sold under list price,
Okay.
but yes, but I back myself. I back
But what does
myself.
that look like? What's the difference in like, if I do go under this
I
price,
have it. I have it.
you have the commission.
Yeah. So as a seller, it gives them confidence. Mel's not going to come and give us a lowball offer.
That's great.
Yeah.
So
And so
you'd
it's a
have it, but you've never done that anyway because you price properties right. And so you go offers over. And then what's the second tier look like? Because obviously the top tier is their dream price. Offers anything above that, you get
so
10% or whatever it is.
let's just say their dream price is 520. So I say, okay, up to offers over 499, it's half the normal. Then from 499 on to 520, your
20.
dream price is my standard commission. And if I get you anything over the 520, then it kicks in at the 10% commission. I
Nice.
don't I don't use the words 10% though when I'm talking to them. I just say, if I was to get you an extra 30,000, would you be happy to pay me 3? And they never say no.
Yeah.
I'm like, great, I'll just put that in the form 6. And that's how it's written as 10% from 520 over.
Okay. So in the form 6, it's listed as, anything over 520, 10%.
Yeah, so every form 6 is reflected to the exact figures. I always ask them before I do form 6, what is your dream price? I said, you can't tell me 600,000 when we were talking about a 520 property. That's just unrealistic. You've got to be realistic for me. Yeah, and it works every time. Every time. Like the one I did this week, I just worked out the commission yesterday, and the bonus commission was another $3,080. The
Yeah.
normal commission was nearly 15, and then the bonus was another 3,000. It all adds up.
Yeah.
But it's also an extra. I think I got her. Her dream price was a bit more, so it was really stretched. And then I got another 28,000 over. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But for
love that
her,
system.
as a pensioner, I said to her, and even one of the offers I had was 8,000 less, and she was like, "Oh, maybe we should take that." And I said, "Well, how long will it take you to save $8,000?" She's like, "Oh, years." I'm
Hmm.
like, "Well, I'm pretty confident the val." And then I also work it too. Like I know the valuers, so I know one valuer always does contract price. I always give him the heads up and go, "Hey, did you know this one down the street didn't have solar, didn't have the shed, wasn't freshly painted?" And he went through yesterday, said, "Yep, contract price now, all good." So it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's just making sure that all the things are right before we put someone on paper. I knew that, you know, yeah, you've got to understand, you've got to dig a bit more with your buyers to see, where they're at. Because I don't even let a buyer through my house until I've seen that they've got finance pre-approval.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that strategy too.
Yeah.
So you've created a lifestyle business too, and I'm going to wrap this up soon, but you don't do open homes. You pretty much work Monday to Friday. How does that look for you? And what are the challenges around that, or if any?
There's no challenges for me. So again, I'm a logical person. I don't follow the flock. When I started, like we all did, go to the open homes on Saturday because that's what you do and that's what you're told to do in the office. And after a while, I'm just letting randoms through. I don't know who they are. They're not pre-qualified. They're giving you dodgy names and numbers. I'm sure every agent can relate to this.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, I'm not wasting my time. I'm not wasting my seller's time because as we know, to clean a house and have it presentable is a lot of work and effort. And my time is valuable, their time is valuable, and so is the buyers. So I have a small child on my own. I can't drag him to open homes or give him to a babysitter. Like, so I have to make it work for me. But most people that are generally interested in the market I'm working in do business Monday to Friday. They don't wait for Saturday to make an offer or inspect a property.
Yeah.
And so I only do pre-qualified buyers. To be honest, I hardly do any inspections because my virtual doers do them for me. I do deal with a lot of buyers agents who are buying on behalf of their buyers. So they're not going to view the property. The buyer's not viewing the property, and they work Monday to Friday as well.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I guess in your market where it's more owner occupied, they may only have time on weekends to inspect properties. It
Yeah.
could be different down there, but in this market, I don't need to.
Yeah.
I haven't worked. And to be honest, if a buyer says I can only get through Saturday, that's the only day I can do it, and I go, oh, okay, righto. Every single time they never buy. Every time. So
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting that, isn't it? Yeah.
it is interesting. So I do pre-qualify. I filter them out, and then I'll give you an example. I had all these offers coming in on this property this week, and I have buyers going, "Can I get through and have a look at that one?" And I would reply and say, "Hey, thanks so much. Just to let you know, I do have multiple offers on at the moment. What sort of budget are you looking at? Because I don't want to waste your time if it's under."
Hmm.
They'll come back. Some of them will say, "Oh, get lost then." I'm like, "Okay, well, good." And others will come back and go, "Oh, well, my budget is this." And I said, to be completely honest, I have offers higher than that at the moment. So if you did come through and you did like it and you did make an offer, it's not going to be successful anyway. And a lot of buyers are like, "Oh, thanks so much, Mel, for letting me know," because I'm not wasting their time either.
Yeah. 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 No one
Yeah.
wants to waste their time.
No.
Interesting strategies. You've got a lot of
Mm.
things that you do different, and I said this at the start. We can adapt some of those things to our marketplaces, some other things maybe not. But I've certainly taken a lot away from what you shared with me the other day and then today as well, that we can probably implement here quite successfully. And I love the idea of pre-qualifying people because it's nothing worse than having people just rock up and you're spending all this time with people that aren't generally interested or aren't ready or can't get finance or whatever it might be.
Well, I won't even let them through the property either until they've looked at the virtual tour.
Hmm.
Because quite often they'll go, "Oh, yeah, thanks for the tour. Yeah, no, I didn't like where the kitchen was." Or I'm like, "Great. I'd rather establish that now than get into the property, have my sellers spend 3 hours cleaning it, and then you walk straight in and go, I don't like the kitchen." You know, so the virtual tour, it cuts it sifts and sorts.
Yeah,
It really
yeah.
does.
And you
Yeah.
don't share the virtual tour on the website. It's only for those people that actually inquire.
No, I mean, I treat every client as I would like to be treated. If I was selling my home, I don't want a virtual tour out there for everybody to see and walk
Yeah,
through my bedroom
yeah,
and spin around the camera and look at what's on my bedside table or what I've got. I don't want that done to me. So I wouldn't do that to my client. So the virtual tour only goes on the inquiry. So anyone that inquires will get it. And then
yeah,
once it's under offer, it's removed. It's
yeah.
removed. They only get the email to say it's under offer.
It's
I
under
copy
offer.
details.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like
All the
that.
other stuff is removed. Yeah. Yeah. So
Oh,
it's
wait,
working.
it's working
Sorry.
for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, for a single mother working from home about 20 hours a week in a brand new area and to make multiple six figures and, get my clients nearly, I'm just about to hit the $1 million over list price. I'm just sitting here pinching myself going, to me, it's not rocket science though, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like in the industry, and you may be able to relate, when we first got our license, I feel like there's a gap in the market where it depends what office or agent you align with as to how your career goes. Because if you go to an office and they go, there's a phone book that back in the day, there was a phone book, there's your office, just call people. Oh, what do I do? What do I say? There was no training for me. I was self-taught. So
Mm,
I feel that there's a gap in the market because I'm seeing a lot of the younger, 20-year-old guys in the market up here making a mess of it because they clearly just don't know what they're doing. And I
mm.
feel like they need someone to guide them and go, hey, this is probably, the better way to do
To
this.
approach it. Yeah,
Yeah. And so, yeah, I feel like there is a gap in the market that if anybody is new to getting into real estate, really align yourself with somebody that has the records that you want to get, but will also give you the time and
yeah.
energy to do that. I'm quite protective actually, because I had an agent approach me recently, wanted to learn from me, and I worked out quite quickly there was a motive there. So I terminated that relationship. And now I'm very protective of, my business. But I also feel like you that we still need to give to the community and give to other agents that,
Yeah.
to help them in some way. So even what I've shared with you today, I haven't sort of shared with many people. So
Now it's all out there.
it
You
is.
do things differently. So no prospecting, some good marketing, some good referral business, a different way of operating, but certainly with honesty and authenticity at heart. And it's not just you're throwing those words around like a lot of people do in the industry. You actually genuinely care for your clients and work in their best interest. And I think that's what really stands out for me. Mel, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today, Start Smart Real Estate Reimagined. We're going to wrap it up there and we're going to open it up to Q&A for all those who are here with us on the live session. And as always, guys, you can check out the show notes in the links provided after this. Thanks for tuning in.